for the celebration of life for Earl Rhue, aka Rickey Dean. My name is Thimby Ann Jackson. I'm the goddaughter of Earl, and I know him because my parents knew him. My mother went to school with him back at Syracuse University. So, and then they both struck out here to the West many, many years ago. Let's see, I'm 52, so yeah, a while ago. I just wanted to make some quick acknowledgments. First, I want to just acknowledge the beauty of Earl, just how fabulous and funny he was. My husband would talk about his inappropriate, corny jokes, and I just think that's so fitting. I know that Maria Rosa over there told me that Calvin referred to him as a Renaissance man, and I think that that is very apropos for Earl. I want to acknowledge his family that's here, who came all the way from Connecticut to be here. That woman in black and white right there, Kimberly, Sherrill, and she's the baby sister, and her older sister, closest in age to Earl, I believe. That is Cicely Renee there. And so I just want to honor them as well. I also want to thank all the people who contributed and donated funds to make this event happen. Thank you so much. It is so incredibly meaningful, and it allows us this opportunity to celebrate Earl. And then I want to thank Charlie, Kamiko, Barbara, all the team folks that came together to make this happen, from the setup to the cleanup that's happening later. Homegirls, from Laura to Marcia, Mikey, Daria. We've got team here, and I really want to acknowledge my husband over there, Ren. He's our AV manager, and my lovely son, Jackson. And so we're going to get started with a quick slideshow. That's just a couple of minutes that my son Jackson put together last night in a pinch. Okay, thank you, by the way, Jackson. Okay, so you can roll it. to just take a moment and I want to just again honor and acknowledge Earl and the family from which he comes. I know in speaking with Earl, his family meant so much of him, much to him, excuse me. He spoke with so much love about his Aunt Charlotte. I bet lots of people have heard that name, about his siblings, his beautiful siblings, of which, as I said, 2 are here today with us. And I just want to say, what I knew about Earl is I knew that he was extremely proud of his family, and that his family, they were steeped in American tradition and history, war heroes, very much patriots. And I know that Earl, him and his family, they had strength and resilience that survived generations through discrimination and racism, through war, civil rights and protest, and beyond. I know that Earl was peace-loving, and I know that he was a big believer in justice. That's the pillar that he stood on, right? Yes, yes. And Earl, yes, and it always struck me because, he would talk about the extraction and the taking from vulnerable communities, particularly the Black and Indigenous communities from which he came, right? And he definitely wanted that to stop, of course. And so he was a fighter for justice. And he celebrated, yes, thank you, and he celebrated his heritage. And honoring him also means honoring the family from which he comes. And so with that, I'm going to turn the mic over to Kimberly Sherrill over here, his baby sister. Thank you.
My name is Kimberly B. Sherrill. I'm Earl's baby sister. He commonly referred to me as Kiddo. To say my family is so thankful and honored by your collective enormous support of its extended family, friends, and community to make this event happen is truly an understatement. The showing of togetherness and strength and enormous collective talents is a true reflection of his spirit, personality, character, and brilliant mind. It shows to me just how much he was loved and respected. He is respected by so many good-hearted, lovely, and talented human beings, as he would say. It makes me feel even more proud, love, and joy during this very difficult time of grief, anguish, and sadness. To have had our loved ones so tragically taken from us. I want to say to all of you, I thank you for your presence here today and in his life as a whole. It shall never be forgotten, the expression of your love and support. I would like to also give a special thanks and hand clap to my new god sister, Thembia Jackson, for coordinating and getting y'all and all of us together. Yes, and all the support teams for coordinating this entire event and the entire support of the team. With all your talents, love, dedication, and work, me and my family truly thank you.
Thank you. So next on the program, we're going to introduce a very special friend of Earl's, Rebecca Boyko, to come and play a song in his honor. The song is titled, at least in this point in time, the song is titled, I Will Be There, A Lasting Conversation. Thank you. Let's give her a hand.
Well, like all of you, I love Earl Russell Rhue, with all my heart. And when I was horrified by the news, I found that the only thing I could do was to write about it. So he kind of helped me with this. I heard his voice in this, and that's why I added the lasting conversation, because it really is a conversation between myself and Earl, and I think it's something you could hopefully identify with. I will be there. I'll always be there. 'Cause part of me is part of you, and that will never change. The love we shared will never end. I'm with you every day. I'm with you every single step of the way. You wonder if the sadness ever ends. Another sleepless night, another restless day begins. As painfully I realize our love has had its end. It's hard to understand the shocking change without regret. How do you fill the void this loss has left? Be brave. Oh, how I miss the wise and witty things he'd say. I miss the love, the laugh, the joy, all the warmth that filled our days. As painfully I realize our love has had its day. Tears of loss stream down my cheeks even when I pray. This emptiness, this loneliness, will it ever fade? Don't be afraid, remember, I'll be there. Every time you think about me, I will be there, living in the memories that you keep. Now I will be there, I'll be there as you close your eyes to sleep. 'Cause part of me is part of you, and that'll never change. The love we shared will never end. I'm with you every day. I'm with you every single step of the way. So listen to that still, quiet voice. It's comforting, assuring you that not everything has been lost. And sometimes after tragedy, new understanding thoughts can help to fill the strength you'll need to heal your broken heart. How do you think? This loneliness, this emptiness, will it ever fade? Don't be afraid, remember I will be there. Every time you think about me, I will be there, living in the memories that you keep. Now I will be there when you close your be there, I will be there. I will always be with you, 'cause Rhue loves you, Rhue loves you. Well, that's what he'd say to me instead of goodbye. Well, he'd just smile, that mischievous smile, and tell me, Rhue loves you, Rhue loves you. And all I want for you is just to be happy. Think about me, live your life through love, and I will be there. Every time you think about me, I will be there, living in the memories that you keep. Now I will be there, I'll be there as you close your eyes to sleep. 'Cause part of me is part of you, that won't change. The love we shared will never end. It'll never, ever end. I'm with you every day. I'm with you every day. I will be there. I'll be there. Earl Russell Rickey Rhue. We love you. Oh, Earl Rickey Rhue, we love you. Yeah, we do. And we will always remember you.
So next, what we're going to do is we're going to invite friends, family, others, brethren, brethrina, to the mic for open remarks, for any stories, funny stories in particular, I like. If you could, keep your remarks somewhat brief, maybe 2 minutes or so, that would be great, or less. And so please, just come to the mic. We can form a line if we want to. But I invite those that want us to talk about Earl, that want to talk about Rickey, to come share a story, please. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Maria Rosa Keys. To Earl. Happy birthday, Earl. I'm sitting in the living room, attempting to watch the Warriors and the Lakers. It's not the same since you went out for a smoke. The Warriors have been losing dismally, and they still don't have a big man, which you have always said is one of their big problems. I no longer have access to your incredible encyclopedic sports knowledge. I can't ask you anymore to explain for the 10th time what's a pick and roll. I can't zone out on your long rants about a particular play that was called by a ref that you don't agree with. Maybe tonight they'll win. A win for you, Earl. Final score, Lakers 118, Warriors 108. That was last night. Remembrances. Earl was part of our life on 9th Avenue. He would appear with a box of See's candy, a bottle of wine, or, depending on his situation, just himself. He and Calvin would walk the Martin Luther King shoreline every other day, or be ready to go fishing at a moment's notice. Neither of them ever catching any fish, but they could talk lots of smack about the big one that got away. Earl was devoted to Calvin, and Calvin adored him, though he probably would never admit it. They were as different as night and day, but relied on each other like brothers. I could count on Earl to help me take care of my dad, to try to fix something, assemble a piece of IKEA furniture, which always resulted in his engineering way of overthinking the problem and then not being able to construct it. Dinner time was Earl time. He somehow appeared just at the right time. There was always a place for him at the table and a bottle of Tabasco next to his plate. Earl's booming voice, his corny jokes, his wild, uncombed hair, his incredible intellect, his knowledge of American history, his many talents, his unwavering generosity, and his sweetness will surely be without. I will miss your loud bellow as you walk out the front door. Rhue loves you. And I counter back, we love Rhue. Thank you.
My name is Edric Hagens. I'm a good friend of Earl's. I loved him dearly. And I had written a kind of a haiku in the name of my mother's passing. It's called The Last Days of Spring. In the last days of spring, iris new, iris blue, in the last days of spring, iris blue, warm sun no longer new. Embers warm the hearth and the bees hum at a lower note. Love smells in the valley and the trees are replete with leaf and flower. The proud nut mother yet promenades in the village square, and youth with the taste of love's truth tells stories in the dying firelight. Oh, seagulls who are crying on the ocean beach, how is it that loving the salty shore, you go away over the sea?
Hello, everyone. My name is Amy, and Rhue was my first friend when I moved to Oakland. I moved to Oakland shortly after university, and how I met him was my roommate at the time would just see, did you see Earl and Stanley, that little black dog, little black Schipperke? He would always tell me the same story. If you look up a Schipperke, you know, it's this little European Spitz, and if you look them up, they come in many different colors, black, brown, red, blonde, but 90% of them are little dogs just like Stanley. And it's still my partner's profile picture, him with Stanley smiling. We were really sad when Stanley passed away. And over time, it was really incredible having a neighbor like Earl, but we became more than just neighbors. We became good friends, and we became family. And Earl is one of the people where early in my life I understood the term chosen family, because my own family members, my own grandmother and my mother and my father were abusive. And Kathy told me recently that Earl saw me and Eddie as his own grandchildren, and that's how I view Earl. And one thing I also want to mention is, you know, when we went out on our trips, Earl would watch over our cat, Peanut Butter. I would ask Earl if, when he came into our apartment with the key, if Peanut would meow at him and then throw herself on the floor and show him her belly. And then Earl says, she does that every single time. Peanut Butter loved Earl. And I would always make sure to bring a souvenir for Kathy and Earl. And I found out that Earl would like the nastiest liquor that we could get our hands on. So I would go into, the airports, and I was just like, ooh, what's something? Ooh, what is this? This is like a really interesting like cognac that you can only get in, like this is from like Ireland, and I would give it to Earl, and he's like, perfect. And then he's like, I finished all of it. And then later, when we were getting rid of some of our, like I was really into mixology, but I would buy these things, and I'm like, I don't really know if I'm going to use the rest of it. And Earl's like, great, I'll take that. And I think he drank all of it. And so I think it's really, I'll always think about all of the wisdom that he imparted, and I'll never forget that he has taught me so much about chosen family. Yeah.
Well, hello. My name's Charlie Channel. Well, and if you didn't know it, I'm a true bass. Everything about me is bass. So one day I looked in the mirror and I said, well, how could you be wrong? It doesn't matter notes or anything. And through Marilyn, who was Rhue's friend, I ended up meeting him, and there was these guys, they were jamming over in a garage, which was kind of interesting. I didn't play music for probably 30 years. I started out as a drummer. I'm totally self-taught, totally autodidactic. And essentially, when I ran into Rhue, it was like I found someone who was as crazy as I am, So sometimes he would do stuff like, he had this way of doing like Jerry Lewis kind of things, Jesus Christ, what's going on? And I'd go, yeah, what's going on? It was really somebody I could like relate to, But more than that, he was a musician, like I'm like trying to learn something. And he was like never judgmental, always encouraging. It was just fantastic, So some of the music that you've heard this evening, he recorded it, and he was like a nerd too, I mean, it's really weird, He was somebody I could talk technical stuff with, and it would always go, in the right direction, and then we'd all have a laugh. At the end of the day, I guess a few months ago, every time I'd see him, and he goes, nobody loves me. I'm going like, dude, like everybody loves you, man. What are you talking about? Nobody. I'll just leave. But one of the things about him was that he was always, for me, like helpful. Sometimes I'd be doing something, he'd pick up my amp and move it and that kind of stuff, And this is after he'd had surgery and all of that. It was like, dude, So it's really with a great deal of shock, the way things have come down. But I love his spirit. He treated me like a brother, and I would consider him to be my big brother, really. Just a wonderful personality that will really inspire me for the rest of my life to be as good as I can, and to be as helpful as I can, and to be as loving. So I really miss him, and well, his spirit lives though. That's all I can tell you. I mean, it's always there. It's always going to help guide me and move me, to higher levels of being and loving. That's it.
Everybody knows how unique and yet remarkably connected to everybody and everything Earl has been. The one thing I wanted to mention is that Earl touched all of us, and we all touched Earl, and we interconnected and remain a part of each other. I meant that when I used those words. We are all a part of each other. And what I'm trying to lead to is to say that there were 5 extraordinary human beings, men, who came together, and throughout the course of their lives, they shared their lives together. And in the last half of 2024, they all, as Calvin would say, transitioned, all about the same time. It started with Ashiatan, and then there was Calvin, who we dearly love. 3 days later, Steve, a fantastic sax player who was also very close with Earl, passed. And now Earl has left, and 3 days after he left, Sweet Pete has passed. So there were these 5 men who came through and gave us this blessing of wisdom, kindness, love, insanity, and pure joy. And they shared it with all of us. And then they decided it was time to transition. So we will always benefit from having known them and loved them. And thank you.
Earl was so special to me. I met him in Syracuse, New York, where he was going to school with Gary McKinney, was his great friend. And Earl has been my friend ever since that. Today I've been thinking what I was going to say. And I found a book of Langston Hughes poetry. And I said, oh, this is it. Some of Langston Hughes short poetry. And I said, I can't read it very well, but I'll get Charlie to read it. And then we left the book at home. So I think you should check out Langston Hughes. He had so many, Langston Hughes was just incredible. The Jessie B. Simple stories. And, I did a music thing in my backyard that was called House of Bigger Girls. And Earl was so supportive of doing that. He hardly ever missed a show. And he always videographed. He took the pictures still, and he took his cameras, and he was always in the way of somebody while he was taking his pictures. But we managed, and he brought them back to me. He'd give them to me, and I didn't know what I was going to do with them, and I still don't know what I'm going to do with them. They're all categorized, and I like to keep things together. And so if anybody wants to use them, you're ready to have them for anything. There's probably some good shots in there. So I'm just overcome. I want to talk to his sisters so much. He used to talk to me about his sisters. And he smoked cigarettes, you know. And I'd be on him. I'd just be on him. Earl, nobody wants to smell that stuff. It's on you. And his sisters, I'm sure, didn't like it either. And I'd say, I'm going to get in touch with your sister. No. Oh. And the last thing, I'm going to wind this up, is he loved the movie Humphrey Bogart in Casablanca. That was his probably favorite movie. and he could quote so much. Do it again, Sam. And here's looking at you, kid. And there's so many of them. In this city, and the cities all over, as juke joints, but she had to pick the one that I owned. I had it written better, and this isn't quoted perfect, but Earl just loved the good movies. And we shared that. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
I met Earl at the Eclipse. I think that was 2019 or 18. Time goes by fast for me. And we instantly bonded. It was so much fun. And part of my career was dealing with writing commercials and doing things that were humorous and so on. And I found this godson of Loki, the god of mischief, Earl Rhue. Always had some mischief he was about to foist on somebody. I remember one day he said, when I grow up, I want to be like you, Art. And I said, first of all, you're never going to grow up. Secondly, you want to be old, white, and short? Well, we shared many, many marvelous moments together. Since I'm only a recent friend of Earl's, I found a brother and love the guy enormously.
I trust the Lord, and he heard, and he answered. I trust the Lord, and he heard, and he answered. That's why I trust him. That's why I trust in God, my Savior, the one who will never fail. He will never fail. Blessed assurance, Jesus is mine. He's been the fourth man in my fire, time after time. I'm born of his spirit, washed in his blood, and all he's done for me at Calvary is more than enough. I trust in God, my Savior, the one who will never fail. He will never fail. And that's why I trust him. I trusted him to protect and keep my brothers alive. And God did that. And he did that all through all of you. Thank you so much for your love, respect, and friendship with our brother, Earl Rickey Rhue. He's my big brother. He's my big brother. No matter how long he took to come home, he was always glad to see me and gave me a big warm hug. And he always was ready to listen to me, and whatever I put on the table or whatever we talked about, we always had one mind. He never let me down. He's always my big brother. In the birth order, he was first, I'm second. And Kimberly's the bookend. And we are one. Thank you so much. So grateful for all of you.
Thank you so much, Miss Renee. That's so beautiful. Just paying homage to Earl also really means paying homage to his community and the family from which he comes. And I am just so grateful that you both are here, his dear sisters, who he talked to me so much about, and he loved y'all so much. Thank you. Are there any other remarks before we close? I see Kimberly back here.
Again, I would just like to thank each and every one of you for your presence, each and every one of you for your support, each and every one of you in love and representation of my brother Earl Rickey Rhue, because Rhue does love you, baby. And I can see and know that just by the coming together of each and every one of you. Please do, for Rickey's birthday, give yourselves and him a round of applause. Happy birthday. Because we are here to celebrate his life. It's sad times to come together, but today we're going to be happy despite the tragedy, because that's something Rickey would do. Yes. He would tell me, like, sometimes me and my sister that's 5 years apart, we be arguing, you know, this, that. And I'll call Rickey, I'll be like, you know what, you better come get Leslie, my other sister. And he'd be like, listen, kiddo, get yourself together. Focus on love, because we're family. We don't got time to be fussing and arguing, and I just have to say, you right. Let's lead with love. And it's clear by everyone's presence today. I have a new family, extended. Yes. With love. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We're going to close out that section, and I'm going to invite Manny Lleras and family up to give the Native American prayer song in honor of Earl. So take it away, sir.
Thank you. Yes, as mentioned, my name is Manny Lleras. I reside in Laurel Heights Apartments where Earl lived for several years. And through that time, we had opportunities to sit and talk and chat about a lot of things. And I would always learn new things about Earl as time went on. In one of our final conversations, or one of our last conversations, he was expressing to me, he says, you know what, Manny, on my mother's side, we have some Native American ancestry, because he knew my family and our history and our Native identities. And he was like, you know, I think my grandmother or my grandfather, somebody was Cherokee. And I said, well, Earl, check this out. What I believe and what we believe in our community is, like, no matter how far back that ancestral tie goes, that means you are as well. And so he would always wear this ring of a big, it's like an Indian chief ring, a big headdress, and he would be like, yeah, this is how I identify. And I was like, all right, Earl. When we found out about his passing, it was very tragic, very sad in our family. Yeah, Earl was a good guy. And every time I'd see him on our property, he would always shout out, hey, Manny, how you doing? Or I would see him he worked at Trader Joe's for a little while, which is right down the road from where I worked. Hey, Manny, how you doing? And he would always remember my daughter, Joni. My daughter, Joni, this is her, she's 12 years old today. Exactly. So, fun fact, Earl never told me his birthday. But what he always remembered to do is he always remembered Joni. We have a second daughter. Her name is Lynn. They're always together. But no matter what the circumstance, Earl would always be, how's Joni? And your other daughter? And to think about now the connection, right? They're born on the same day, and I don't think I ever shared with him her birth date. But again, there was just that connection. So when we were thinking about, my daughter had a birthday party yesterday, and we was like, how do you want to spend your birthday? She was like, you know what, Dad? I want to go and we want to pay our respects to Earl. The way our the way our family works is when we make relations, we make connections. They become part of our families. So today we're here as as our family, but we have also our neighbor, Miss Sharon, who, again, in our house, we call her Grandma Sharon, Kagu Sharon. She lives underneath us, and we used to call Earl Togo Earl or Grandpa Earl on our property. So that's how we respect and love our brother Earl, our neighbor. And so we want to sing him a honor song, memorial song. And again, this is a celebration of life, and so this song is intended to lift our spirits, especially those left behind. You know, when we lose one of those loved ones, we know and we hope that we'll connect with them later in life. But right now we're mourning. We miss them. We miss that voice. We miss that wisdom. We miss everything that Earl possessed in who he was. And so we want to encourage everybody here to not just mourn him through sadness, but to mourn him in joy. And so we want to offer a song today. And we weren't sure if we were going to completely do this, but when we walked in the door, they were like, "Are you Manny? We got you on the schedule." And earlier today, I was telling my family, I was like, "Hey, remember, we're going to go do this. We signed up on the Google form," and they were like, "I don't know, Dad." But now look at us. Here we are. And again, it's all for Earl. Ready? That one. Hey, yada, hey, yada, hey, yada, hey, yada, hiya, hey, yo, hey, hiya, hey, yo, hey, hiya, hey, yo, hiya, hey, yo, hey, hiya, hey, yo, hey, 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 yada, hey, yo, hiya, hey, yo, hey, hiya, hey, yo, hey, hiya, hey, yo, hiya, hey, yo, hey, hiya, hey, yo, hey, hey, yada, hey, yo, hey, yada, hey, yo, hiya, hey, yo, hey, hiya, hey, yo, hey, hiya, hey, yo, hiya, hey, yo, hey, hiya, hey, yo, hey, yada, hey, yo, hiya, hey, yo, hey, hiya, hey, yo, hey, hiya, hey, yo, hiya, hey, yo, hey, hiya, hey, yo, hey, yada, hey, yo, hey, yada, hey, yo, hiya, hey, yo, hey, hiya, hey, yo, hey, hiya, hey, yo, hiya, hey, yo, hey, hiya, hey, yo, hey, yada, hey, yo, hiya, hey, yo, hey, hiya, hey, yo, hey, hiya, hey, yo, hiya, hey, yo, hey, hiya, hey, yo, So again, on behalf of my family, my name is Manny. This is my daughter, Joni. Happy birthday, Joni. She's 12 years old today. Our daughter, Lynn, she's 10 years old, and my wife, Yvonne Marshall. Again, we want to thank the family for allowing us to spend that time we did with Earl. And thank you all for being here and welcoming us into this event.
Wow. That's all I can say is wow. Oh my gosh. So now we're going to turn it over. We're going to turn off these lights because we know how now. I think, maybe. Light person? I don't know. And we're going to show you a beautiful tribute video by Earl's dear friend and longtime friend, Gig Hitau. Is that how I say? Gig Hitau. He put this together and sent it to us quick, fast, in a hurry. And it's really lovely. I had a chance to check it out. So here you go. Thank you.
My name is Earl. I'm Gig Hideout. Earl Rhue and I were friends for the past 50 years.
Okay, Earl, what brings you to Video Spark today?
The owner. We've been friends for like 36, 38 years, something like that. We hang out. Earl was born in 1949 in New York City. He got to attend a private boarding school in Massachusetts, then on to graduate from Syracuse University. I attended his graduation from UC Berkeley, where he got an engineering degree. I was an electrical engineer.
Oh, really?
Yes, I was.
That's interesting.
Defense Air Navigational Electronics. We nicknamed it avionics. And it was primarily defense work, space work, with some industrial and commercial stuff that we've done. When I say electrical engineer, primarily was the design and the system development of electronic electronic devices and systems that were used by for the government, both our national government and foreign governments, and for and sometimes for those projects that if I told you what they were, I'd have to kill you.
Understandable. Okay.
I met Earl in 1974. We jammed together, and in 1977 we formed a band and played a benefit concert at La Peña in Berkeley, which was a huge success. When I traveled in the South Pacific and lived in New Zealand for 4 years, I gave my cat to Earl. My mother had made a painting of that cat, so I gave that painting to Earl. We felt like family that way. Earl came to my 50th birthday party.
It failed, and he blamed it on green energy, and the green energy was the only shit that was working.
I'm a guitarist. I jammed with Earl and his friends, and he came to jam sessions at my home. After one, Earl composed a short chorus called "It's So Hard Being Earl." Then my other friend and I joined him to sing that chorus in perfect 3-part harmony over and over again. It was magically joyful. Earl performed with Charlie Chanel at my Video Spark Cafe restaurant recording studio.
Now when I remember spring and all the joy that love can bring, I'll be remembering the shadow of your smile.
And with Thembi and Jackson. Earl stayed over at my house to go for a morning job interview. This past Thanksgiving, at Kathy and Earl's place, my wife and I enjoyed their camaraderie so much. That afternoon, Earl and I went outside so he could have a cigarette. He talked about his 3 closest friends in the music world who recently passed away, and how committed he was to helping their widows. The irony of that and the circumstances of his death make it so hard for me to accept. Earl was a good man and cared so much for people he knew. I'm sure all of us will continue to remember his routine sign-off. Rhue loves ya.
I'm gonna miss you so much if you go. And hey girl, I'll tell you no lie, something deep inside of me's going to die.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Really beautiful. Yeah. So at this point in time, we're going to turn up just a little bit. I know a lot of you don't know what that means. But this is a celebration of life after all. Hey, hey. I want to let you know the bar is open for business. We've got all kinds of fun things back there. We've got food over here, lots of fancy apps, and we've got some desserts over there. And we are going to get the musical blessing jam session going starting now. So I'd like to call, yes. Thank you, you guys. I would like to call Charlie Channel up here and my dear Kamiko and all the others that want, and let's get this going.
So just to warm things up, let's get this going with an audience participation while the jammers are getting set up to jam. I'm going to pass around a bunch of these to tables, and I want you to join me singing "I'll Fly Away," because Earl's flying high, and we're going to fly with him. I guess who's going to sing with me? I guess this is kind of a cappella thing, right? Huh? Uh-oh. Some bright morning when our work is over, I'll fly away to a home on the celestial shores. I'll fly away. I'll fly away. Oh, glory, I'll fly away in the morning. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away. When the shadows of this I'll fly away. Like a bird from these prison walls, I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory, I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away. Oh, how glad and happy when we meet, I'll fly away. No more cold iron shackles at my feet, I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory, I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away.
solo. Dueling bass and snare and conga.
Don't you tell me, Charlie, what's happening in the back row back there? Well, I'll tell you, sometimes we get good friends together. It may be sad, but we play the blues. Down.
Let's hear it for Charlie on the bass. Charlie on the bass. I said Charlie on the bass. Charlie on the bass. Charlie on the bass.
Summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Your dad is rich, girl, and your mama, she's so good looking, yeah. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings, you gonna rise up swinging, singing, spread your wings and take to the sky. But until that morning, nothing gonna harm you. Mommy and daddy standing.
Summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Oh, your daddy's rich and your ma, she's good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings you're gonna rise up singing. You're gonna spread your wings and take to the sky. But till that morning, ain't nothing gonna harm you. With daddy and mama standing by your side.
Give it to him. These mornings you're gonna rise up singing, and you will spread your wings and take to the sky. Till the morning, baby, yeah, nothing's gonna harm you, yeah. With mommy and daddy standing by. With mommy and daddy standing by. With mommy and daddy standing by. Merci beaucoup. G minor, she said. G. Should I wait for you? my funny Valentine. Sweet coming Valentine, you make me smile with your heart. Your lips are laughable, oh so unphotographable. Still you're my favorite work of art. Is your future figure less than weak? Is your mouth a little weak? When you open it to speak, are you smart? Are you smart? Don't say it for me if you really care for me. Stay, little Valentine. Stay, hey, hey, hey. Each day is Valentine. Chemical Radio. Matthews over here, tearing up the keyboard, y'all. Yeah. Come on, Charlie. Give me some. Charlie Channel holding down the big bass here, yeah. Oh, my funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine, you make me smile with my heart. But you know, your lips, they are so laughable, yeah. Unphotographable, yes, you're my favorite work of art. Is your figure less than green? Is your mouth a little weak? When you open it to speak, are you smart? Are you smart? Don't say a prayer for me, not unless you really care for me. Say, little Valentine, say, each day is Valentine. Today is Valentine. Each day is Valentine's Day. Merci beaucoup. Hey, hey.
Rhue loves you, baby.